Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. So I hope you've had a nice festive period. So something quite substantial seems to be going on in the background, and it's all realistically pointing towards these BTC ETFs making an appearance. From what I was more or less aware from my research, today was the day when things were going to be going on behind the scenes. Now, what can we do when realistically a lot of this stuff does happen behind the scenes, right? We're looking for key indicators. We're looking for the kind of indicators that would more or less signal to us that preparations are being made for these ETFs. Now, MicroStrategy has more or less bulked up their BTC, and off the bat, this does look great, but they did invest a significant amount back in 2020. We'll get onto that later in the video. But what I want to do is I want to cover this aspect that I'm seeing sort of emerging in the background. And if these ETFs are all what they're cracked up to be, right, you're talking about BTC hitting the stock markets. Anything could happen at that point. It's just a whole world of untapped energy, and realistically this is all going to happen thick and fast. I think this is just going to be an overnight thing where suddenly the SEC approve, and it all goes through, and next thing you know, more and more companies like MicroStrategy are getting involved. So this in itself, it's a good sign. It's a really good sign, because if you go and you look at MicroStrategy, they're an American company, and the fact that it's an American company dipping their toes further into this pond of crypto, so to speak, really goes to show, hey, maybe these people know something that we don't. And if you look at MicroStrategy's track record, like most companies that spun up in the 1980s, moving through that sort of Operation Choke Point period, the original Operation Choke Point, and what we were looking at recently, they seem to be one of the groups of people that were really targeted by this approach of applying a choke point to the internet at the time. So like I was saying, this is really good. This is what we want to see, because with all the FOMO intensifying, eventually this green light, you can go on certain websites at the moment and you can pretty much bet on these ETFs. And when these gambling sites put stuff like that forward, for me, that really shows that something's going on in the background, because they're actually allowing people to gamble on it, which means that it's something that's on the horizon, is going to happen, because they're allowing people to place bets on it, right? They would have to refund the bets. There would be all sorts of misleading factors into doing something like that. I'm not a gambling expert. I'm highly against it. But honestly, these are just the sort of signs that I'm seeing, what we're kind of looking for. And this $50,000 target, if these ETFs are everything they're cracked up to be, I think this is only 50% of what the price target could be. We could be looking at one of these significant pre-runs that we've seen time and time again before the actual BTC halving bull runs that really do set crypto aside and gets everybody really interested in. It's when you start hearing the old ladies in your local shop, or your parents' friends, or maybe you're at work and someone starts saying, hey, have you heard about this amazing meme coin? It's those sort of things when you think to yourself, it happens that quickly in crypto, and all we can do is best place ourselves and position ourselves to see what we can make of this situation, so to speak. So like I was saying, in August 2020, MicroStrategy actually invested $250 million into Bitcoin, and this was as a treasury reserve asset, citing declines returns from cash and a weakening dollar and other global macroeconomic factors. This is all important stuff, right? Because these sort of companies, like I said, they've been around a while, so they've been around the block. They know the cycles, and for me, I think this is going to be the last cycle where you're realistically going to see the most amount of gains, because by the time 4 years has passed, again, we get to the next BTC halving, crypto is going to be a lot more mainstream than it is now. So with all of this being said, right, where does this leave us? Well, it leaves us with this possibility of these ETFs dropping and the potential of what they do. And like I said, to really summarize it down without going into these high, in-depth, complicated explanations as to what it could do and why it could do it, my simple view and viewpoint on this is really simple. It's BTC hitting the stock markets legally. Okay, the stock markets haven't seen anything like this since probably they were engineered, fashioned, and really got to a very strong legal standing point within the current ecosystem. It could go anywhere. It could be a situation where it's buy the rumor, sell the news, but I don't think it is, because this isn't a situation where the rumor doesn't lead to anything. There's real substantiality behind these claims of what this ETF could do. But like I said, for me, it's just that simple fact that it's hitting the stock markets. So much can happen to help this all go mainstream. And with that all being said, right, this all drips down, doesn't it? Because once BTC gets its foot in the door, other companies can be looking at these ETH ETFs. And like I said in my previous video, right, if the ETH ones are gone, the BTC ones are gone, what are you looking at next? Well, Likely is going to be looking at XRP ETFs next. Let me know what you're investing in. Let me know what your strongest assets are moving into this bull run. And let me know what you think about these ETFs. Do you think it's all just chalked up? Do you think it's a load of FOMO driven nonsense? Or do you think there's substantiality behind these claims? Let me know. Folks, I want to thank everybody who supports here, likes, comments. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. Those 3 things are so easy for you to do, and it helps us so much. Consider delegating your LUNC with us. You can go to HTC Factory. You can access our auto compounding systems from there. And if you want to support this channel further, if you want to see more content like this, if you want to see me around more often, consider joining the Patreon. There's a lot of like-minded folks over there. You get early access to different stuff, and honestly, you get some behind the scenes stuff, and there's all sorts of different little perks if you feel like checking that out and going the extra mile to support here. Folks, I'll catch you in the next one.